Now, I know this is shocking. I mean, it's shocking for me. This is the first time I'm ever doing this shit. Maybe the last, who knows? But, now, I'm not a commentary YouTuber. I don't do this shit. I'm an artist. I'm an animator. I'm pretty sure most of y'all already know me from, you know, the Pumpkin Gentleman situation like 8 months ago. However, I got pulled into the commentary community because of one little ginger, Louis Mcclung. All right? He went over my allegations that he presented as if they were fact with poorly done research. When I mean poor, like little to none research. Yes, he's excused. I spent 4 hours doing research, okay? It took me 3 whole days to make my response video. So how the hell did your research only take 4 hours? And if it did take, even if it did take 4 hours for you to have such little evidence or backup for any of your allegations against me is crazy. And you know what? The reason, because you didn't have enough evidence to back up your allegations about me, you made up your own. You twisted the facts, you twisted the perspective and the story to fit your allegation, to portray me as an actual pedophile or whatever you claimed for me to be, which is absolutely ridiculous and is in fact an insult to the commentary community. But we'll get into that later into the video because karma will do its thing. Karma will do its thing. Finally, dog, people are realizing that Louis Mcclung is not the best commentary YouTuber everyone think he is. The people are finally being freed from the Louis Mcclung brainwash, and they're realizing that he is in fact a shitty commentary YouTuber. So I think it's about time that I came out about my experience involving Louis Mcclung. Now let's get on with his video about me. And by the way, as we're going through his video, I'm going to pause through, like, you know, from time to time to clear the allegation and show screenshots of actual proof to disprove whatever the fuck he's saying.
Whoa, welcome, members of the audience, back to your favorite show. Damn, the internet sucks. Like a lot. Have you been on the internet in the past few days, the past few weeks, the past few months? Have you seen how bad it's getting? All the way from a bunch of Christians getting mad at a Greek festival for representing the god that has to do with that Greek competition, and for some reason thinking it has anything to do with their religion. Little wild guys. Do you know who Dionysus is? Yeah, he's not Jesus. Get over it. It's not even about you. Or just the metric tons of people online claiming that it's okay to abuse people, and it's okay to take advantage of people, and it's okay to do all these terrible things. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, for instance, I was just scrolling, doing my everyday thing, when I came across a post about, trigger warning for the rest of this video in general, but for right now, of me covering just this guy, okay? This guy who's out there on the internet thinking he can just say this stuff. Rape needs to be normalized, and if it happened to you, you honestly deserve it? Bro, I get it that people honestly sometimes say these things just to get a reaction out of people, like, duh, that's like human nature, but that doesn't excuse the utter disgust I feel reading the fact that somebody wrote this, looked at it, read it a couple times, and then posted it wholeheartedly. That's disgusting. You suck. Realizing I can pull girls' hijabs off and run away with it. Get your grammar right, by the way, run away with them. You just got grammar lessons from a dyslexic person. Get shit on, bozo. But like, also, shut up. When she takes it like a good... God, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. Ew. And I read Berserk. Yeah, Griffith sucks, but he's a character. You're a real person. You don't get to get away with this stuff, you jackass. How I feel after putting some of my secret sauce in my sister's drink. Huh? Bro.
Now, I never really understood why this part was even included at the beginning of the video, because my situation nor I had anything to do with them. See, Louis, which I think you were aware of this. I think that's why you did this or played this little trick. But people came to your videos because they have no knowledge or don't know what the fuck is going on with my situation. So they came to your video for answers. So when you put this at the beginning of the video, you already portray me in a certain way. You're going to throw your audience off about me. You threw me off. But I think that's what you wanted. And that's a dirty little trick of yours.
Okay, but like, I didn't bring this up to talk about it, really. I brought it up to like show you what I'm talking about, that the internet recently has just been like this. But because of all of this, all of the Ava Chris Tysons of the world, all the Dr. Disrespects of the world, ruining everything and being the literal most pieces of garbage on the planet right now, they're taking away a lot of attention from people who are doing somehow much worse than they are. I honestly don't think this video is going to do very well because this guy hasn't even been talked about. But the things he is doing and trying to get away with disgust me. Call me a squash the way I'm about to jump on this pumpkin. Not in a sexual way. Wait, hold on. Pumpkin the gentleman. Ew.
Once again, not only did you misperceive me and my situation, but you compared me to actual fucking pedophiles, which is crazy.
This guy is plainly said just a creep. But before we get into everything he's done, Who is he? Oh, and before we get started, please don't go harass anybody in this video. Nobody I talk about, not even the gentle loser, because I don't want you to go give him more attention. So just keep it here in the discourse in the comments. All right, talk in the comments. That's what they're for. He's part of the art community, the animation community of Twitter and TikTok. He had a big TikTok account. He still kind of does, but it's privated now. But we'll get to that, like I just said. And in his own words, being a hypersexual, which if you don't know what a hypersexual person is, also known as compulsive sexual behavior, it really means just somebody who is unable to stop themselves from having urges. It really is a disorder. Okay, it's something that people struggle with, and it's something that people have to deal with in their day-to-day life. You know, they have to learn how to work around, like anxiety or depression. Okay, but the way the gentleman pumpkin or pumpkin gentleman, more like pumpkin doofus, am I right? The way he explains it is, it's like a sexuality, right? It's like a thing that he chose, all right? It's who he is. It's what he wants to be. When other people in the world actually have to, you know, struggle with it.
This shit truly disgusted me. Heavily disgusted me. Because he's trying to portray as if I want to be hypersexual. I chose to be hypersexual. Yes, Louis, I definitely chose this specific trauma response to my trauma. That's like telling someone with PTSD, oh, you chose to have PTSD.
But there's more. There's so much more. Grab yourself a whole 12 warm pecans and a glass of milk with ice cubes in it, because this is going to be a long one, so strap in. It all started with a prompt on Twitter of people saying, hey, make this, make your OC in this. Everybody in the NSFW art community, get on this, all right? It's time. But of course, Mr. Gentle Loser, seeing himself as a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to this stuff, he said, oh, hold my metaphorical beer because I'm 19 going on 20. I can't drink yet, but hold it as I make this. Oh, man. Okay, I can't show you all of it, obviously, but just know that there's a bit of an erectile thing going on below, okay? And you may be thinking, Louis, is that even a problem? I see stuff like this on Twitter all the time. Literally, you can't look anything up on Twitter without seeing something along those lines. You just can't. And to that I say, no, it's not a problem at all. Unless your account is set and said to be for people of the age of 16.
Now, I agree. The drawing I made wasn't appropriate to a 16-plus audience. Reason being that even though it didn't show the full thing, and it was just a bulge, because to me, I was just drawing an anatomy part, because like I got a ding-dong down there, right? So where else is going to go? I'm not a tuck queen. It was still heavily inappropriate. And when a friend did come up and tell me, like, hey, dude, this is not okay. You need to take this down. And they showed me why, and how it was inappropriate. I said, oh shit, my bad. Took it down, changed my audience or content viewing.
16. All right, let me get something clear that I don't think a lot of people understand. 16 years old is a kid, okay? I don't care what the age of consent is in your state, in your country. I don't care. If you're an adult, do not date a kid. Is that so hard to understand? Oh my god, I feel like I have to drive this point home all the time. And I'll see comments in a bunch of videos, not even just my own, saying, hey guys, in my state, 16 is the age of consent within reason, but it's the age of consent, okay? And that makes it okay. No, I don't care. This is just my opinion. No, shut up. You're weird, okay? If you think, damn, 16-year-old, no! Get out. The door's over there, all right? The door's over there. Gentle creep here, having 16 plus in his bio means that he thinks that it's okay to be like, hey, 16-year-olds, come to my account, all right? Come interact with me and talk to me. That alone is creepy. Of course.
When I say 16-plus audience, I don't literally mean 16-year-olds specifically come talk to me. It's just like, no, if you 16 and older, then you can view my account. Because I've seen 16-plus in the animation meme community. I've seen 16-plus in mangas, in comic books, in movie ratings. So I thought, okay, I might as well just do that with my account. That doesn't mean specifically 16-year-olds come interact with me. No. It just, hey, if you want to view my content, you gotta be 16 and up.
Of course, if you're making art that looks like this, and it's like your whole MO, your whole brand is that you're like, I make NSFW art. I have an NSFW account, which is now privated, and I tried to follow it. Wait, let me check if he let me in. Oh, he didn't let me in. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's scared of me. Oh, I would be, because I've got trust in your neighborhood detective to get everything sorted out and put together.
You know what's real funny? After, because it was just for a bit, right? It was just for a bit. But after I'm privated, like quickly after that and stuff, Louis never contacted me. He never interviewed me. He never asked me questions. None of that. He just went off and did his own thing, right? Which is crazy. Second, bro, what was that? Scared of who? You? Dude, I would have thought that someone brought the Horde Henry cast to my door. But anywho.
I have so much dirt on this piece of garbage. But as you can see now, his account now says no minors. But if you ask me, you are allowed to backtrack and you're allowed to take things back. But there are a few things in the world that you are just not allowed to take back, no matter how long ago it happened.
Of course you would know a thing or two about that, right, Louis?
Cody say something. No matter how long ago it happened, if you purposefully try to interact with kids or did interact with kids, then that's just not it. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. No matter how much you try to backtrack it now, no matter how much you try to be a better person now, you should have been a better person the whole time.
Now, this is where Louis's misinformation kicks in and shit, but just heads up when we're going into this video. I was 17 to freshly 18 when all of this shit happened. So when someone said, oh, well, you should have been a good person the whole time. Again, if you were to grow up with not so good people who did it teach you on how to be a good person and wasn't a good person themselves? It's a little bit hard to go down on that path alone. Sometimes people need guidance on that. Sometimes people need to get educated on that, need to be shown that route. You can't just someone to just be born, come from a bad background, been through some shit, and be like, okay, you're supposed to already know the rules and everything. And again, yes, I'm a legal adult now, but that doesn't mean that the moment it hits midnight and I'm 18, that doesn't mean that I'm instantly matured like a 25-year-old. Yes, I'm going to make mistakes, but the whole point is that I learn from it. And then, so moving forward, I don't repeat that mistake again, which you have not done.
Right, guys? But that's just all my opinion, of course, of course. Let's start with him putting his best foot forward, because I think that's always important. Now, we start these things off with the pseudo-apology of people doing stuff you just really can't apologize for doing. I am sorry. I apologize for making and posting inappropriate content, which I then expose to a younger audience. I also apologize for being stubborn as well as ignorant to those who have tried to inform me beforehand about my actions regarding my content and age rating. I have failed to realize how much damage I have caused to my audience, and it was never my intention to bring harm to anyone. I was wrong. Moving forward, I will tone it down. Now that I am aware and have a full understanding of what 16+ content is, in addition to that, I'm bumping my content doing to 18+. I sincerely apologize to those I disappointed and let down. See, all of that is great. All of that's awesome. If you haven't literally tried to justify doing these things, okay? You do not get to claim ignorance or not knowing or being ignorant to what people are telling you when you literally respond competently to what they are saying to you. Like, for instance, this is the least blurred photo I could find of it, but, I'm sure you can infer what's going on. This image was posted on Gentle Loser's account when it wasn't privated yet, still 16+, and the blurred part is a very well-defined outline of his bulge, okay? And that's not for 16-year-olds, you 19-year-old weirdo.
The fact that in my response video, that picture was blurred out more than yours is, to me, really fucking ironic. Second, if you had just clicked on the motherfucking picture, you would have seen the username have 18+ emojis and have the bar hide the NSFW tag that I put on the post in my NSFW account. Oh my God. What do you mean a NSFW account posts NSFW content? Holy macaroni. No fucking shit, Sherlock. No fucking shit. So again, misinformation, and the fact that it was right there. You were on that thread. You were right there. But you couldn't even click on the full photo and notice that.
Yeah, we're like the same age, okay? I'm 20. That's not that far off 19. A 16-year-old? Bro, that's not it, okay? When I was 19, right? You may be thinking, oh, that's only a 3-year difference.
Again, was not even on my age 16+ account, and I posted that while I was 18. Again, Louis gets my age wrong in this video. I don't know why he thinks that all this happened while I was 19. No. All this shit happened when I was 17 to freshly 18. And when I was 17, that's when I got on the online for the first time ever, okay? So I didn't know any of the online rules or the boundaries or yada yada, all that shit. I just came on here. So please keep that in mind.
No. I graduated high school. I am working. I have a job. I'm an adult. I pay taxes. Okay, I have to think about the next electoral vote. When I was 16, I didn't care about none of that.
Oh, wow. Do you want a fucking cookie? Get the fuck out of here.
But of course, somebody called him out about it, and he competently responded. There's no incompetence here like he claimed. No, he is simply just gonna try and justify what he did. Like, what do you mean you thought it was appropriate that there was a chance of someone 16 seeing your bulge? Because to me, it was just an anatomy body part. In Japan, that is considered normal. There are a lot of shows in anime where a character has a bulge, or big boobs, or other assets, either due to the anatomy or costume.
The reason why I did bring it up, which was to explain, not excuse or justify my mistake, because if I were to use that to justify my mistake, why would I do that if I already took down the post and took accountability for it? What am I justifying? It's already been there, done that, right? It's already done. So no, I brought it up because I was explaining why I thought it was okay. That's what we saw back then. At least as a kid, it was normalized for us to see. Just because it was normalized doesn't mean I said it was okay and that it should continue, but I was just explaining that with me growing up with that, I thought that drawing was, compared to that, was a lot more tamed. So I thought, like, oh, this is fine. And then when someone taught me and educated me on how it wasn't, I took accountability and I improved and changed to the standards.
Are you talking about HENTAI? Because that's not how that works, bro. That's for adults. What do you mean it's normal? No, it's not. In Japan, it's normal to censor those things. Like, literally just putting censor bars over everything because it's not normal at all to see those things everywhere. Plastered on a bunch of billboards for the community to gaze upon. No.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Did you also happen to grow up to Japan to know this, or are you just assuming? Because I don't know why everyone has this great, beautiful idea of Japan being so, sophisticated and, so modern and polite and strict and yada yada, because that's what the media wants you to think. But boy, oh boy, y'all, not all parts of Japan are like that. And I can tell you from experience, I can tell you from being born there are a lot of freaks. There are a lot of freaks. It is really bad. It is really bad. I'm not gonna go into detail here, but I'm gonna let you know there's a lot of freaky ass people in Japan.
According to him, he's both a dark-skinned, chubbier, bigger person, while also being from Japan. These are all things he's claimed, which are shaky, but we'll get to that.
The only thing that finna shake is my ass shaking in your face. Ain't no fucking way that you think it's shaky that a person is mixed living in a country. Hello, do you think that people only fuck their own race? Hello? Like, open your eyes, welcome to the world, hun. I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
We still have to talk about how he said, hey guys, it's just a part of my body that I'm purposefully showing off in an erotic way on my account that is 16 plus. Here are a couple comments of him interacting with minors. Like, maybe not knowingly, but he didn't bother to check. There was this picture of him, scarfing on some bread with some cream coming out of it. An innuendo, if you will. Here's what a minor said. I'm not gonna read it because that's weird to me. You can't make me do it. I don't wanna. But then he responded and said, thank you. What is wrong with you? Go to hell. Specifically loser hell, but we'll save that for later. Here's somebody saying, whose bread is that exactly? The kid responds, weirdly, and then he likes the comment.
So, again, I want to know, where did people find the information that the, people behind these accounts were minors? Because literally, the only evidence y'all ever showed was just the username scribbled out and you just put minor. I looked at these accounts. They had no age in their bio. Where was the proof of that? Like, I saw none. So it's just kind of like, okay, so you don't actually know. Like, I could just scribble out, lose his face, just show his mustache and be like, oh, yo, this is Beto mustache. Like, easy, you know how silly that looks, right? So I never understood that. But I will admit that, again, I made these comments when I was like 17 or some shit, or I officially turned 18. I still shouldn't have responded in that manner without knowing their age, especially given that TikTok is a 13 plus platform. So there are amount of minors on there, right? So I still shouldn't have responded in that inappropriate manner. And I do apologize for that.
And okay, I'll address the fact that he might not know this is a minor, but either way, it strikes a chord with me after knowing what I do know. So let's keep going. He also has an alleged conversation with somebody who is definitely a minor, but the alleged part is that they are 12. Oh, God. Oh, whoa. Okay, we're jumping from 16 all the way down the ladder to literally a baby. You're but a little child, and you're not allowed to talk with them, let alone say all this bullshit. And I'm gonna read it in good faith. Thank you, Pumpkin. I really want to kiss you. Raise his eyebrow. You know what you do there? And this is Lewis's crash course on how not to talk to minors. You don't say anything. You don't send any emojis.
You don't do nothing.
Say nothing, okay? Nothing. That's the crash course. That's it. It's over.
So I finally found out who was behind these screenshots, because their friend reached out to me. And turns out this person was my very first mutual online on TikTok, but like just for me, from having like an online platform in general, they were my first online friend. Okay, so they are real and is confirmed. The reason why I didn't remember them was because they never told me that they were 12. They told me that they were 14 to 15 years old, while I was 17 at the time. The reason that they lied to me about their age, as their friend put it, was to keep like their age mysterious and for their, to protect themselves and for their safety. But that does the opposite, and it will in fact put them in danger, because in situations like these will happen. Throughout our friendship, which was like 8 months, although I never initiated or started any conversations related to NSFW like topics or suggestive topics, I did allow them to joke and talk about it. Reason given that when I moved here, right, I was already in high school. I already had 14 to 15-year-old friends who joke about very, very similar things and would also make sex jokes and yada, yada, and whatnot. So I thought, okay, what's different from online and in real life, So I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, you could joke about it. And although I did try to set a boundary, although it was a weak attempt where I'm like, I mean, yeah, you could open up to me or whatever, just, no actual love feelings or NSFW pics. Like, no, I don't want that. Like, stop. However, even though this person did lie to me about their age and whatnot, it was still my responsibility, given that even though I wasn't really an adult yet, I was still the older one, right? I still should have known better. I should have been more responsible. I should have taken the initiative to end the conversation or be very firm with my boundary or just cut contact with them, which I did right after I turned 18. After I turned 18, I realized how weird the friendship was given our age difference. And it's like, yo, like I know we joking, but I don't know, it was just off to me. So I should have at least told them like, hey, like let's stop interacting. I didn't ghost them. So I did cut contact or any form of interaction with them after I had turned 18, which is an adult.
That should have been enough for you to be like, oh wait, maybe I'm right. Maybe me, the person saying this, maybe I'm right. Maybe I just stop here. Maybe I stop now. Maybe I stop before I ever sent anything to this person. Maybe I just get the hell out of here. Maybe I shut the fuck up. Maybe, I don't know. Another very unthoughtful thing he did, as he claims to be a bigger, chubbier person, he made fun of somebody's body image of themselves. Like, he literally just straight up, here is somebody talking about their personal life and their personal body image and talking about how they deal with it, and that's all very beautiful and great to talk about, until some weirdo on the internet who thinks it's okay to talk to kids takes all your content and makes an art piece about it of them biting your belly after you just talked about how you're insecure about it. Bro, you're definitely an iPad kid. You're definitely, I don't know, I can just tell. That's not a diss or anything, and that's not like an excuse for anything either. That's just a neutral thing that I'm observing right now. You're an iPad kid. You're a loser. You've been on the internet too long, all right? What a weird thing, what a weird unsensitive thing to do if you are a chubbier person, okay? That's just, you know?
So this drawing was for my friend. Okay, we are still friends to this day. However, she is taking an online break right now, or as of now. This drawing was meant to cheer her up, make her feel proud or confident in her body, but I could see why to bystanders that it could look or be seen differently. This drawing, however, had no weird or ill intent behind it. In fact, she at first responded very positively to it. However, after the people started coming out, and berating this, and after I confronted her saying, hey, I know all these people are saying this shit, but I want to hear from you. Were you actually comfortable with this piece? And if not, please be honest with me. Then she came out and said, well, actually, this does make me feel, that drawing did make me feel uncomfortable a bit. That was handled privately. You guys were never involved in the first place. I don't understand why you guys were speaking for her as if you knew her or knew anything about the situation whatsoever. Because clearly y'all didn't. So again, that was a private matter between two friends. I don't know why you guys got involved. It's not that fucking serious, okay? If you were not involved, don't involve yourself, please. Thank you.
But it turns out that he's not, and that somehow makes it even worse. Here's a picture he claims to have been from his younger brother, illustrating them together, when it is so obviously like his art style, exactly how he draws his OC. And he somehow thinks he posts pictures of him gripping a plushie, seductively or whatever. His hands look like this. I don't want to stereotype, and I don't want to be too blatant, but I think anybody with common sense can realize those are not the hands of somebody with a very high body fat percentage, okay? Just scientifically, that doesn't add up.
Okay, I'll be honest, the internet took this shit, like, way too far. It got really weird, really fucking fast, because tell me why I was coming across videos and posts of people actually analyzing my fucking body to determine whether I was fat or not. That's so fucking weird. Because first off, why does it fucking matter? How's it hurting or affecting anybody? Like, priorities, y'all. Jobs. Why are you wasting your damn time with this shit? Because in the end, okay, you determine my body type or whatever, then what? Like, what's the point? What's the point of all that, right? And then for Louis to be there and say, if you have skinny hands or, skinny fingers or skinny arms, you're not fat. He's talking all this shit while he's a skinny ass dude. Like, you think you have the right to educate people on how fat works? Because fat is not evenly distributed throughout the body. Okay? There are various different types of body types, even within the plus size category. So, I don't know. Dude, that's just some weird shit. With my body weight and stuff, I will admit, I'm not as chubby as I thought I was. Reason being, the standards here are very different from those in Asia, in Asian countries, okay? I genuinely thought I was a fat fuck from how everyone was talking to me and stuff. Because I was, like, at the age of 6, I was wearing 9-year-old clothing, So people thought, like, damn, you fat as fuck. I'm like, really? To the point where even my mom would starve me and shit. Which honestly, I think she just used like, oh, you need to lose weight as just an excuse just to starve me so that she'd have to feed me and shit. But you know, when you have that kind of shit hammered into your head, that shit sticks with you, and that's how I genuinely saw myself. That's why I drew myself, you know, bigger than how I actually am. And I've been getting more accepting that I'm not the way that I was forced to perceive myself, you know, as a kid. So yeah, I don't like, maybe I do have body dysmorphia, but I'm not sure, but I'm beginning to be more accepting of myself and seeing myself for, you know, who I am and shit, not how others saw me. So, yeah.
He might actually just be white. And as a white person, I'm not really allowed to be offended about somebody pretending to be black. That's not my wheelhouse, but I've seen plenty of people online mad about it, so I thought I'd bring it up. Here's a little text conversation he had with somebody about LOLI, which of course he did, trying to justify the crap he apologized for being ignorant about again. You can't be ignorant if you explain yourself and try to justify it, you dumbass. Pumpkin Lad 69, start talking. Running away gassed up emoji. Please tell me that girl isn't a minor. Actually, no. She's over 1,000 years old. Oh yeah, we know exactly who you are now. No. There's no use hiding behind a wall of an apology now. You use the line, the classic incel weirdo line of, actually guys, that underage looking girl who I absolutely have sexualized and like the post of somebody being sexualized when they look like a minor. No. They're actually 1,000 years old, and that makes it okay.
So get this. The character that was in that post was the character Frieden. Now, Frieden, right? She sounds like an adult. She speaks like an adult. She has the mindset of an adult. And she is an adult. She's just a small, petite woman. Which even then, it's like not that small compared to the other characters, right? So it's like, I didn't see her, at least to me, I don't think she's classified as a fucking lolicon. And even then, I didn't even know about lolicons, right? I didn't know about, someone in the comments educated me about that. I'm like, what? Because like I said, from where I grew up, that shit was normal. I didn't even know that was a thing because that thing was so fucking often, right? So I'm like, what? Wait, hold on, that's bad? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. And with Frieden, I'd get it if she sounded like a fucking kid and she had the mindset of one. But literally, she is an adult. She's just small and petite, which we have a lot of adult grown women in Japan who have the same figure as her. That's why I'm just like, I don't see anything weird with her figure, right? I mean, my mom has that figure. So I'm like, okay. But anywho, just because that's the only proof they have of me being a lolicon or some shit or me supporting it, which is like, dude, no, I don't support that fucking weird shit, okay? That shit's fucking weird to me. I like big, hairy, old, fat men and cougars. Give me that dusty cookie.
That's okay, right, guys? What gave you that idea? Huh? What gave you that idea? Okay, and I want to make it known that every time I'm thinking about his hypersexuality, okay? And I don't want to say something crazy like he might be faking it just to get away with stuff, which is a possibility. But there is always a chance that people fake these things to make it a reality, right? And even though he claims to have or does have hypersexuality, that doesn't justify any of this crap.
Louis, you're the only one who keeps bringing my hypersexuality up. You're the only one who fixated on it for some goddamn reason. And it seems to me as if you already have a certain biased opinion about hypersexual people, and you're pushing that on me because I just so happen to have it. No, I never wish this upon me, Louis. This shit stems from my trauma, which I'm not gonna get into because, like, this ain't an event channel, this ain't Discord, for those who know. And it's like, I'm sorry if you misunderstood and you mistook me bringing awareness to hypersexuality, me educating people about hypersexuality, as me flaunting it or encouraging it, because that's not what I'm doing. I speak about it because of people like you who make hypersexuals feel like shit. People like you who make hypersexuals feel disgusted, as if, oh, if you're hypersexual, that means you're this, you're that, you're yada, yada, yada. There are already so many toxic stereotypes about hypersexual people because of people like you who are ignorant and rely your research based on one fucking AI overview Google search. That's not how it's going to work, Louis. That's not how it's going to fucking work here, okay? Hypersexuality, like I said, hypersexuality does not make you want to commit sexual acts towards a specific person or group. Hypersexuality is a compulsive sexual disorder that comes with an uncontrollable obsession with sexual thoughts, urges, and behaviors. Hypersexuality more so affects how you view yourself and what you do to yourself. However, hypersexuality does not affect what you physically do to people. I have made videos on this about people who do in fact use hypersexuality as an excuse, because sadly there are people like that in this world, to essay or inappropriately touch other people. And that's not what hypersexuality is, and I've stated that. But you, for some reason, being the ignorant little ginger you are, ignored that. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I don't give a fuck, because I'm here to correct you on that. I never fucking did that. You never showed any proof to have done that. So quit running that damn mouth of yours. All right? Because you can't even understand the definition. So I don't think you'll ever come to understand what it feels like to have to fantasize about the shit that was done to you, that fucked you up in the first place. You don't want it. You never asked to be like this. It's not people who suffer from this, to the hypersexuals watching this video. It is not your fault that your brain decided to protect you by using this coping mechanism. You did not choose this coping mechanism. You did not choose for that event to happen to you. Okay? What you're doing is trying to gain back control that you lost. And that is not your fault. Unhealthy coping mechanism or not, that's your way of coping. And that is not your fault. And you should not have to feel like some kind of inhumane monster because of it. It is not your fault. And you are not alone. Okay? So just want to get that clear. Best way I could describe it in the most simplest terms is mentally you want it, but physically,
Oh, hell no! Hell no! Whoa!
You don't fucking want that shit. It's self-conflicting, and it does affect your day-to-day life. It affects how you think. It affects your relationships with people. It affects even just simple daily tasks. Even it affects your sleep. It affects your mood. It's you suffer from it. So for you to stand there and tell me that I'm faking it, or insinuating that I'm using it as an excuse without bringing any evidence to back up that shit, is disgusting to me.
Can we stop being into LOLI content? Bro, it doesn't matter if she's canonically 1,000,000 years old. She still looks like a kid, and you being into that is weird. But here is some literal proof. This is the real proof of him interacting with minors in very inappropriate ways. I'm 17 and turning 18 on the 23rd of August. Am I allowed? I'm working on fan art right now for you. How else would I send it? Please, sir, why not? Okay, all right, buddy. Okay, all right. You're an adult now. All right, you're an adult now. You have to think about these things. You have to make these decisions. Okay? Like I get it. Okay? You're 19. You're interacting with somebody who's 17 going on 18, right?
So, and here again, I made an NSFW account the moment I turned 18. And here's the thing, I actually had this specific account for a little while because I couldn't wait long enough, which was bad on my part. I'll admit that was bad on my part. And then after I turned 18, I started posting like crazy and shit, right? I started going crazy on it. And this person told me that, hey, I'm going to turn 18 in a few days. I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Especially given the fact that this person was literally just 2 months younger than me. We're born in the same year. So I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, it's fine. Obviously, after having an NSFW account, for like a year now, right? Now I know the rules, okay? Now I know how to actually handle my NSFW account. Like, if you gotta be 18 and older, and if you're not, you're out, right? Which this whole fucking discourse of, you have a public NSFW account, that's bad, is so fucking stupid. It's so, because I don't know why people are underestimating minors so fucking bad. I'm like, dude, these people can read. Like, if you're able to read and type out my username to find my account, I think you'll be smart enough to read the warnings on it as well. And like I said, you have to be 18 and above to even actually view my account, or else Twitter will block that feature for you, being like, hey, this is over 18 content, so you cannot view it until you turn 18. So unless you specifically lied about your age to get into my account, like, dude, that's your responsibility. I'm sorry. If you're not responsible enough to click off, I don't think you should be online. Okay? I don't think you should be online. And for those who are saying, well, you should private your account then. Like I said, people lie. You don't think someone's just going to lie in their bio and then I accept them into my account? there's no way minors or just people in general, if they want something, they will always find a way around it. You can't avoid it. So it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys, okay? Your parents should, I don't know, put parental control or some shit on you. That's your responsibility, okay? Not fucking mine.
That's not too bad. I still don't like it. It still makes me uncomfortable. It's still like just, you can't really get away with this stuff and people have to hold you accountable for it so that you don't do actual worse bad things. Like, somebody posted a thing saying, y'all, Pumpkin and his Riz, bro, it's too effective. I want to get Riz by the Pumpkin too. This person was 16, by the way. And he said, when you're older, heart hands.
Me and this person were friends, okay? I don't know why people keep on making shit up. This was not a stranger to me. We were friends, all right? I was 18. They were 16 to 17 at the fucking time, okay? And yeah, they're like, haha, because we're fucking joking. Oh my God. Y'all, we were fucking joking. It was not legit. They were like, oh, I wish I could, get rizzed by you. And I was like, oh, haha, when you're older. Because I like older people. I like people older than me. So I'm like, oh yeah, when you're older, as a fucking joke, not literally. I don't fucking like you. We both had no sexual attraction towards each other. We were friends. We were fucking joking. Like, God forbid, friends make jokes. And if y'all, like, are seriously taking this as in, like, oh yeah, Pumpkin's, like, definitely grooming this person, it's like, dude, what?
Okay, yeah, I know you get it. And but like, there's just so much. There's so much of it. There's so much of it. Oh my God. Bro, I don't even want to call you that. It's too friendly. Why don't I just call you a creep? You're just a creep. You're not a weirdo. You're a creep. No Radiohead for you. Just get out. Just go away, please. All right? You clearly can't control yourself because you think it's okay to put 16 plus in your description or whatever. Like, dude, honestly, it's not even about what you're posting, okay? It's weird. It's creepy. It's outlandish, right? But those are all just personal opinions, and there's no real way. There's no real way overall to stop minors from seeing what you're doing, okay? And I can go on and on all day about how people really just shouldn't be posting most of the stuff they are on places like TikTok and Instagram. But Twitter is for adults. You do have to register as 18 years of age to use it. So people lie. People get on there. They're kids, right? But it's when you knowingly interact with people who are children and tell them, not when you're older, bro. That's grooming. Oh my God. Bahanga gongas are so nice. Why are they so soft? Said to an alleged 12-year-old. That's a problem, all right? You apologize for all your content and all that stuff, but you didn't talk about the fact that you actually had conversations with children. He was also caught posting and glorifying somebody else's self-harm story and drawing his own art about it and, like, making it out to be this, like, super hot, cool thing to do.
So this shit actually pissed me off because people were genuinely making up stories about this, saying like, oh, this person had to delete their account and stuff because of Pumpkin's comment about her or some shit like that. No. Yeah, because first off, I don't even know this girl's socials anymore. So I don't. Second, you guys don't even fucking know her. I'm sorry. Do you know her, this person? Do you know their name, the color of their eyes? Like, what? This person I made completely anon, right? Is that the word? Like, anonymous. So yeah, you guys don't fucking know her. I don't know why you guys are spanking for her. You guys do not know the situation. This was a vent comic of my experience of having a friend, we were a little bit more than friends, who romanticized their own self-harm and pushed it onto me. Me and this person in this comic do not have a great history, okay? They really fucked me up. Really fucked me up. Which I'm not going to get into. But this person is not a good person, at least in my storybook, okay? So the fact you guys are here trying to defend this person when you don't even know them or even know anything of what happened previously or afterwards is laughable. You guys are not justice warriors. Calm the fuck down.
He also made pseudo LOLI content on YouTube, or at least claimed he was going to, which is just weird. That's YouTube. Get away. I don't want to be on the same platform as somebody like you. Please get out. Go that way. Go. Shoo. Here's one more case of him that I found interacting with a minor, just to throw it out there. Honestly, I don't even want to read it or anything like that. It's just another one. But again, he is but an example. He is but literally just me showing you that this stuff is happening all over the place, and we have to stay vigilant and diligent to see it, to call people out for it, to hold people accountable, so that the groomer summer of 2024 can go down in history and not continue to be our present. I think that's very important, and that's like my point. That's what I want. That's what I want to happen. I want people to just see this now before it continues to be the big problem that it is. Because part of me, and though it's kind of stupid, part of me truly thinks that if we stop and call out enough people for doing the terrible things they do, that maybe it will start happening less. I actively believe that. I believe that us commentary and drama YouTubers are actually doing some good for once by trying to stop this, by making it pertinent that we stop it from happening. And I think that's good. And a lot of people will say that cancel culture sucks. And honestly, sometimes I really agree, but this is not a case where that is at all true. We are trying to help people. And I think we're doing a good job, so shout out all my commentary folks. Thank you so much for watching. Your attention span is beautiful, just like you, all you beautiful buggers out there. And I hope you had a cool hobby you were partaking in. Whatever you were doing, if you were drawing, crocheting, I hope you have a clean room. And if you don't, might as well go clean it. Clean room with a clean mind, and it makes people happier when their space is reflecting how they want to feel. So take this as your call to action to go clean your room. So good job, everybody. And also,
all right, so that was the end of Louis Mcclung's video about me. And genuinely, bro, that was fucking ass. nothing but spreaded in misinformation. Left and right, misinformation. Poorly done, little to no fucking research. And here's the thing, Louis, you have a big following, okay? You at least had, you had about a little over 300,000 subscribers. So when people came to you for information about my situation that they knew nothing about, they trusted you. They did not doubt you, because why would such a big creator lie about this shit? He must have done his research. And because of you, the hate towards me increased triple. And it's still going on to this day, because people took your word, not the facts. Because here's the thing, people are sheep, okay? They just follow with the crowd. They don't bother to do the research because they rely on you to do it. And if you don't fucking do it right, then all hell breaks loose. And here's the thing, Louis, this isn't the first time, and this isn't going to be the last. You did this with my situation. You did this with Zelda's situation, Janky Boo, I believe, situation. Even including Cindy Bear and, Jack's situation. You don't do your fucking research, and it shows. And it shows. And when you are claiming yourself to be a commentary YouTuber that goes over topics like this, you can't be having that. You can't. That's like the skills you can't lack. Might as well not be a commentary YouTuber. In all honesty, Louis, you're not. You're not. You don't deserve the right to call yourself a commentary YouTuber. You're a gossiper. You take rumors and you try to make them fact. And when there's no evidence to back those facts up, you make it up. Or you twist certain facts to make it seem more on your side to support your allegations, which is really fucked up. As a matter of fact, actually learned this from my friend. I have this one friend who is obsessed with history, and I let her rant to me a lot about it. You are what we call, at least what they called others back then, a yellow journalist, where you exaggerate the facts because you prioritize shock factor over facts. You think like the little leprechaun you are, you'd be out, stealing coins and, spreading rainbows, but instead you're spreading misinfo. Huh. And not only that, the fact that you're going over these situations in such a deaf-tone manner is disgusting. Because the videos you go over are videos where a person has been harmed, could have been negatively affected, traumatized even. Maybe this person or the victim's life in that situation could potentially change for the rest of their life. And you're discussing it with a fan blowing what you call your gorgeous hair. Which, hold on. You're not the only guy with curly long hair. Yet you don't see me flaunting this shit. You wanna know why? Because there is a time and there is a place, and clearly you can't tell the difference with those. You are going over serious topics, and yet you're acting as if it's a news game show. And to me, I find that incredibly insensitive. Louis, you lack the one most important thing that is needed and that is depended on when being a commentary YouTuber, which is accuracy in your information and the relevancy of where you're getting your information source from. Okay? Because what you say, every word that comes out of your mouth could potentially ruin or defame someone's life. Okay? And not only that, but you are hurting and affecting both parties of whatever situation you're going over. Because when you get shit wrong like this, in serious cases like this, it takes any relevancy away from the victim, who could actually be a victim. But because you got even just one information wrong, no one's going to fucking believe you. So therefore, no one's going to fucking believe the victim. So you need to think carefully moving forward when you're going over serious allegations like this, because again, you are hurting both, if not all parties. You only apologize because you finally bullied someone your own fucking size, which is Janky Boo. I'm sorry if I say his name wrong. Because once he clapped back at your ass, you actually faced consequences of your actions. That's the only time you apologize. But for everyone else, including myself, you never once said, I'm sorry. You ghosted the situation. You deleted the video and you went silent about it, swept it under the rug. But thankfully, again, whatever you post on the internet stays there forever. It's just like you said, whatever happens will always be online forever, no matter what. People are finally realizing your issues and your mistake. And generally, even just you as a person, I don't fuck with. It's because a lot of what you stand for is performative. For example, you being like, you and your feminism approach, right? It's performative. And listen, I'm a feminist too. But the difference between you and me is that you fight for them, right? I fight alongside with them. Because you, Louis, you speak for women so much to the point that you're speaking over them and you're not letting them have their own voice about their own situation. Because I don't know why, but I feel like you have this idea that women are fragile little butterflies. They know how to fight their battles too, okay? Let them. You know what? Do you get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is they don't need your help. As if you're even helping in the first place. But, I get that you're white, but you're not a white knight, okay? They don't need you to step in front of them and advocate for them. For me, when I say I'm a feminist, that doesn't mean I'm going to do all this and do that. Because even women are coming up and being like, yo, Louis, you doing a little bit too much, which I agree. Because for me, I still let women have their own voice. I let them fight their battles. I fight alongside with them, not for them, right? And what I mean by that is I support women-owned businesses, shit like that. How you, on the other hand, you just speak, you're all talk. You're all yada, yada, yada. You're all talk. And here's the thing. Because you keep on advocating for them and shit, when you do wrong shit like this, it makes them look bad because you kept on campaigning yourself for them. So once you fuck up, how do you think it looks on them? So again, dude, I feel like you think that you're just some character, but you need to realize that the stuff that you're going over is not from a show. It's not a cartoon. These are real life people. These are real life situations and issues that you're going over. Yet you're treating it like it's some kind of Scooby-Doo detective show. It's not, okay? Get that through your head. Now listen, I can sit here all day and talk shit about the shit you've done. Or just talk shit about you in general. And how you fucked up my life. But, in order to move forward, you can't be stuck in the past, From, visually, from what I've seen, I'm not sure if it's genuinely, but hey, we'll find out soon enough, because actions speak louder than words. You want to improve. You acknowledge that you're wrong, and you want to change. You're willing to change. And I really do appreciate that factor about you. Starting from, you apologize to me. Although I cannot bring myself to forgive you right now, because I lost a lot, and a lot of friends, because of your mistake, I still acknowledged that you apologize. And I still appreciate that. Because, listen, we're both young, okay? And I'm not saying I'm an angel either. I made my mistakes. I've improved on them, and I've changed my ways so that I don't repeat them again. If I can do that, Louis, you can do that too. I believe in you. As much as I'm like, fuck you, dude, I still believe in you, and I still want you to change. I don't want you to stay a bad person or stay a bad commentary YouTuber, Because, behind my online persona, I got a life, dude. I got 2 jobs. I got bills to pay. I'm trying to move out of my mom's house. I got a kid to feed and shit. So, I'm pretty sure that behind those cameras, you got your own life too. I want you to look back on this so you don't repeat this shit again. But I don't want this to hold you back either. I still want you to move forward and move on. But take this as a lesson, because it's sad that you had to learn this lesson at the cost of other people's suffering and other people's reputation being damaged. So take this, learn from it, and don't repeat it again. All right? I wish you luck, dude. Honestly, I just wish you luck. And, other people who's watching this, just take this as a lesson too for your own good, you know? And honestly, yeah, just, you go live your life, I go live mine. Peace.